I request Mr. Vikas Singh, President, Supreme Court Bar Association, and Mr. Sukumar Padjoshi, Vice President, Supreme Court Bar Association, to kindly escort Hon'ble Mr. Justice Ranjan Gogoi, Hon'ble the Chief Justice of India, and Mr. K.K. Venugopal, Learned Attorney General for India, to the dais. I request Mr. Rajiv Kumar, Member Executive Supreme Court Bar Association, to kindly present a bouquet of flowers to Hon'ble Mr. Justice Ranjan Gogoi, Hon'ble the Chief Justice of India. I request Mr. Manish Goswami to kindly present a bouquet of flowers to Hon'ble Mr. Justice Ranjan Gogoi, Hon'ble the Chief Justice of India. I request Mr. Prashant Shukla, Member Supreme Court Bar Association, to kindly present a bouquet of flowers to Mr. K.K. Venugopal, Learned Attorney General for India. Now I request Mr. Sukumar Padjoshi, Vice President Supreme Court Bar Association, to kindly deliver his welcome address.
Good evening.
Please.
Honorable the new Chief Justice of India, Justice Ranjan Gogoi, Honorable Judges of this Honorable Court, Learned Attorney General for India, Sri K.K. Venugopal, Senior Advocates, Nariman Sahab is here, I welcome you sir, Parikh Sahab, many others, Shivaji Yadav, President Skora and the Executive Committee Skora, Law Officers Manindar Singh ji, Tushar Mehta ji, and my friends, ladies and gentlemen. It's a proud moment for me and the SCBA to extend an affectionate welcome to all of you to felicitate today's pride of this institution, Justice Ranjan Gogoi, on his being assuming as the 46th Chief Justice of this institution. Rightly, he will be the head of the judicial family of the strongest judiciary and one of the most complex and most respected judiciary in the world. In fact, Justice Gogoi, with his erudition, professional background, experience, and I think like the embodiment of virtue of judicial values, has been elevated to the rightful place, and I am sure will help in enhancing the prestige of this institution in the world. Sir, we in the SCBA assure you, sir, that you'll get all support from you under your leadership. Whatever new things you want to start, sir, whatever reforms you want to undertake, whatever guidance you want to give us, we will never hesitate to be part of you and part of the process in reforming the system, if at all you lead us in that direction. While saying so, I think this huge gathering also expects that we will be treated with dignity in the society, and that is possible, sir. You have already pointed out that if the arrears and pendency of cases are minimized. So whatever steps you take, sir, we assure you that we will be part of you. Thank you, sir, and I wish you all the best in your careers so that we see this institution in the top of the world.
Now I request Mr. Vikas Singh, President, Supreme Court Bar Association, to kindly deliver his address.
My Lord the Chief Justice of India, Justice Ranjan Gogoi, Honorable Judges of this court present here today, the learned Attorney General for India, senior advocates present here, members of the EC of the SCBA, Shivaji Jadhav, President of SCORA, and members of the bar present here today. We have assembled here to welcome our very own Justice Gogoi, who has been with us for quite some time, as the Chief Justice of India. It's a proud moment for us, and it's a great moment for this institution for having somebody, Justice Gogoi, as the Chief Justice. I am informed that Justice Gogoi at a very early age lost a particular toss, which is now our game. I believe amongst his brothers, his father said that only one will go to the armed forces. So there was a toss. Whoever won will go to the armed forces. His elder brother, Mr. Ranjan Gogoi, won the toss and went to the armed forces. So Justice Gogoi was destined to be with us and to lead this great institution as the Chief Justice of India. So his loss is our gain. Justice Gogoi's father was a very noted criminal lawyer, and he also went on to become the Chief Minister of Assam. Justice Gogoi, in his pillar of strength, for everybody it is said that there is a woman behind every successful man. But in Justice Gogoi's case, I am told it can be said with more authority and more firmness, because he has had a lot of disabilities, medical issues in his life, and his wife has stood by him, always encouraging him, ensuring that his body keeps on fighting, and because of that encouragement and that support, we have, fortunately for us, a very healthy Justice Gogoi to head this institution, because it would be our gain if our Chief Justice is in the pink of health, because the kind of pressures, the kind of administrative duties that the Honorable Chief Justice has to perform, the kind of routine that he will have to go on for the next 13 months as the Chief Justice of India is going to be very grueling, and we all expect him into the fittest of his ability, physically, mentally, so that he can take this institution to much higher heights than whatever this institution has been in the past. One of the very major concerns that this institution, or in fact the entire judiciary, is facing today in this country is the matter of pendency. I am so glad that Justice Gogoi has made a statement even before taking oath that he has a plan and he will implement it, which will be very beneficial for this nation, because if this is the only criticism which our judiciary faces within this country as well as abroad of pendency, if this issue can be tackled, then it will be a great step for the democracy that we have. It's a young democracy in many ways, it can be said to be old also in many ways, but this democracy will take much greater heights if this issue can be tackled. From the members of the bar, sir, we have a few of our issues pending, sir. We will of course meet you personally and discuss them, but 2-3 are very important which we want to flag, sir. One is the Lawyers Welfare Fund stamp. We have already discussed with the earlier Chief Justice. We had also discussed what kind of amendment can be made to the Supreme Court rule. I believe it is already before the rule committee. If that can be done, there is a land allocated to us for the chambers allotment, because in spite of being the Supreme Court, the premier court of this country, even today large number of lawyers don't have chambers, which is not something which is, because most of these smaller courts have full chambers for all their lawyers, whereas Supreme Court still is. Our people have been waiting for 20, 30 years and still not got chambers. So these are some of the very pressing issues, sir, which we would like to take up with you, sir. Today I would also like to announce a very important fact. One of our members, Mr. Sanjay Vesen, who is the Honorary Secretary of the Delhi Mountaineering Association, he has already been on the highest motorable passes in the world, and he is now starting a mission tomorrow, which is going to take him to a 5 days expedition for Clean Himalaya and Neat Himalaya to Kaveri Lake, Minkania Pass at 13,950 feet, Kangra Valley. So, Sanjay, we all wish you all the very best for this enterprise of yours and keep making us proud. Sir, you have been known to be a very perfectionist, known to be strict. While we appreciate that you should be strict as far as the functioning of this institution is concerned, sir, but we will also pray that as far as the members of the bar are, sir, we would request and require some leniency, because a lot of our members of our bar sometimes face problems in life and sometimes they are not having the full preparation, although they should have. I will never want to encourage somebody, but at least, sir, that encouragement at least to the younger members of the bar, sir, it will be a great step for the judiciary, and this is one of our aspirations, sir, from you. Today, sir, I was told that mentioning is stopped, sir. That is, of course, entirely your discretion, sir, but of course, there are pressing issues and there are urgent issues which will have to be taken up, sir. We will, of course, discuss with you separately on the mentioning aspect, sir. Sir, once again, we all welcome you with folded arms, and we, sir, promise full support of the bar for any initiative that you would like to take for the improvement and betterment of this institution, sir. Thank you.
I request Mr. K.K. Venugopal, learned Attorney General for India, to kindly deliver his address.
Honorable Chief Justice of India, Justice Ranjan Gogoi, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, Mr. Vikas Singh, President of SCBA, and his members of the Executive Committee, Mr. Jadhav, President of the Advocates on Record, and his Executive Committee, my very good friends at the bar, ladies and gentlemen. Time is short, and I'll make 3 quick points. On the first, I said that there should be an increase in the age of judges, at least to 70 and 65 in the Supreme Court and the High Court. But today, I add an amendment to that. I feel that it would be very, very much in the interest of the judiciary if the age of retirement of judges of the High Court and the Supreme Court is the same. This would result in a lot of heartburning. It would prevent the judges of the High Court from coming to the Supreme Court and then meeting with the judges of the Collegium to put over their cases personally, to be Chief Justices of High Courts, to be elevated to the Supreme Court and so on, which is, I think, a very, very bad habit for judges who are supposed to be independent and so on. Secondly, on salaries, I still stick to what I have said. There should be at least 3 to 4 times what they are drawing. The 1 lakh that they get, or 1 lakh 30, is very, very low indeed. And this we saw in an article which was written in the Times of India as to what the judges have at the time of retirement. It is very, very low. Something has to be done. Justice Kare met me at the swearing in, and he told me, I fully commend what you have said. But you have forgotten the subordinate judiciary, because so far as they are concerned, they are also not being treated with the fairness which members of the judiciary should be. What we have to realize is that the powers which are exercised by the judges individually is tremendous. And you give them vast powers, and at the same time you keep them at levels which I think, compared to the peers before they were elevated, that is those in the bar, was far less. Therefore I agree with Justice Kare. He said another thing also. Do you know as to how the lawyers in the subordinate courts manage? Many of them are unable to make both ends meet, and they have to go say have agricultural land from where they get some income, or from some other side business which they are not supposed to carry on, from where they get some business. And many of them do not have a place to sit. They sit on payments. That's what he said. That is, so far as the notaries are concerned, they sit under trees. And therefore, are we really looking after the community of lawyers, or are we concentrating on ourselves? People who practice in the Supreme Court and the High Court and are making fairly good monies. Look at the number of cars we have. The latest imported cars are there in the parking lot. And therefore, I think that it is necessary that we now look outward towards the lawyers in the subordinate courts as well, and ensure that they have a proper compensation for the work that they are doing. Now, there are two things which are necessary. The welfare fund which was spoken about, and I find that the Delhi High Court had a welfare fund, but there is a case pending saying that there has been embezzlement and there has been diversion of funds. I don't know how lawyers can do that to themselves if they have a heart and a conscience. So far as Kerala is concerned, again, that is the earliest state which started a welfare fund for lawyers. And the Advocate General, who is heading the committee to look after the welfare fund, discovered to his dismay that 70 lakhs had been diverted, had been swallowed by the trustees. And this is what is happening. And this is indeed tragic. We have to blame ourselves. And therefore I do not know as to how people can stoop to this level. And therefore welfare funds appear to provide no solution whatsoever. We are looking forward to Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi. One, so far as the large number of cases which are pending are concerned, not merely in the Supreme Court of India or in the High Courts, but in the subordinate courts as well, where the maximum number of cases are pending. 10 years at the trial in the trial court, 8 years in the High Court, 8 years in the Supreme Court, and the man would not be alive after so many years, 25 or 27 years. Secondly, the overcrowding. Now I find that at my age, I am unable to get through to the front row for the purpose of addressing the court. I have to go far in advance and then go on telling everybody, excuse me, excuse me. Considering my old age, so far as lawyers are concerned, they are very considerate and they let me go through. But otherwise I pity the women lawyers and the male lawyers. I am sure the Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi will find a solution to this, what I consider to be an intractable problem. Thank you.
I request Honorable Mr. Justice Ranjan Gogoi, Honorable the Chief Justice of India, to kindly deliver his address.
A very good evening to all of you. Thank you for coming. The President of the Bar, the Vice President, the Secretary, Office Bearers, Senior Advocates, and my colleagues. I had prepared a speech. I don't think I'll read out from that. Everybody today seems to be in a hurry. Normally these functions go on for about 2 hours. I put in a request, let's try and do it in an hour's time. We seem to be heading for an end even before an hour. The bar has such a rich and illustrious legacy. Let's try and keep it up. Look at these names. The greatest, M.K. Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Lala Rajpat Rai, Gangadhar Tilak, B.R. Ambedkar, Cornelia Sorabji, Motilal Nehru, Sardar Patel, C.R. Das, C. Rajagopalachari. I may have left out some more. This is the legacy of the bar. I ask myself, where are we today? I wouldn't like to go into all that. I would just deal with what the Vice President has said, what the President has said, and what the Attorney has said. The Vice President said, let the lawyers live with dignity. The lawyers are living with dignity. This is the legacy. They are the most respected people. I don't think there is any doubt on that. The President, Mr. Vikas Singh, said, I am a strict man. I am what I am. I can't change. He mentioned something about mentioning what happened in the court in the morning. Let me tell you. Me and my colleagues are trying to evolve a system which can produce better results. We are working on it. We started working on it quite some time back. And maybe in a couple of days, we'll have it. We are trying to reduce the time between filing of cases and the listing of cases on board. We are trying to introduce a system by which the cases don't get dropped from the list. And if that happens, if we succeed, perhaps a large segment of mentioning would go away automatically. So it's not the Chief Justice who is going to drop mentioning, the mentioning is going to die by itself. These are kind of solutions that me and my colleagues are trying. And we hope we have your cooperation and we will launch it very soon. Time is short. We have to move very, very quickly. We have to get the system to produce the best results possible in the shortest time. This is what I am trying for. The learned attorney, again, like the other day, I forgot to mention the attorney's name in the reference. The learned attorney mentioned about salaries of judges and the age. I think both are related. Increase the age to whatever you want. Give as much money as you want to the judges by way of salary. I don't think, unless other issues are tackled, and this issue is that order and dignity of the institution, the order and dignity of the office, there will be too many takers. You may raise it to 70, you may raise it to 20 lakhs. It's not going to work. Similarly, filling up of vacancies is very important. I am taking up on priority filling up of the 5,000 vacancies that we have at the subordinate level. We'll try and do it in about 3 to 4 months. But filling up of vacancies is not going to solve the problem. It is a solution. It's not the whole solution. The solution lies in getting the right man, and the right man will come only if the office maintains its aura and dignity. This is what I wanted to convey. Apart from the fact that each one of us here, each of my brother and sister colleagues have spent more time in the bar than on the bench. We are alive to the problems of the bar, which is upper problem of the bench also. And it will be my endeavor with my colleagues to try and solve as many problems as quickly as we can. Thank you for coming and thank you for listening.
We are grateful to Honorable Mr. Justice Ranjan Gogoi, Honorable the Chief Justice of India, for accepting our invitation to attend this function. I thank Honorable Judges of Supreme Court for gracing this occasion. I thank Learned Attorney General for India, law officers, Mr. Fali S. Nariman, Mr. Manan Kumar Mishra, Chairman Bar Council of India, Mr. K.C. Mittal, Chairman Bar Council of Delhi, Mr. Santosh Paul, Editor SCBA Times. I thank Mr. P.H. Parekh, former President SCBA, Ms. Priya Hingorani, Ms. Parina Swarup, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, former Secretaries SCBA, Learned Secretary General, Learned Registrars of Supreme Court, Press, Journalist, Office Bearers and Members Executive Committee of different bar associations including AOR Association, Mr. Shivaji Jadhav, President, present here, other distinguished guests and respected members of our bar for gracing this occasion. I request all distinguished guests to kindly join us for high tea. Thank you.